Hobbies are great ways to enjoy our life. Now, finding new hobbies is even better. And well, if you haven't guessed already, I, Jericho Arroyo, have a hobby. And that hobby turns out to be fitness. And there are just so many great things that come with fitness that I cannot wait to share with you all. If we take a look at this image, what are your first impressions about him? Is there something in particular that you find that absolutely astonishes you? Well, for me, it's obviously going to be his entire physique. Now, this beast's name is Noel Dazel, and he's surprisingly 36 years old. Now, how in the world does this guy manage to achieve this physique? Well, what he does for a living is what you call bodybuilding. He builds his body through heavyweight training, also known as resistance training, to achieve this peak in masculine form. It may sound easy, but it took 12 years for him to attain. Now, here's a photo of him before and after his training. Pretty wild, right? Through his hard work and dedication, this guy was able to become the beast he wanted to be. And nowadays, he's a big inspiration for those who just want to become like him. Now, let's take a look at this model here. Her name is Lean Beef Patty. At least, that is the name she likes to use. I don't actually know her real name. But as you can see, this woman looks very intimidating. She's only 24 years old. And what she has done to achieve this physique is a bit different than the previous model I showed. Yes, this is what she does for a living. This is calisthenics. Calisthenics is basically training that doesn't use a lot of equipment, unlike weightlifting. It utilizes your own body. Example of calisthenic workout can simply be push-ups and pull-ups. Anything that requires your own inner core strength. This is obviously a different person, but his name is Chris Heria, another calisthenic workout enthusiast. But let's take a brief moment and break down the absolute insanity of this man right here. This is a much easier to understand image, and it basically displays what raw calisthenics is all about. For most people, this workout in and out of itself is absolutely difficult for most first timers. Workouts like these utilize your ab strength. The stronger abs you have, the easier it is to actually perform these exercises. Believe it or not, nobody's able to do this first try without experience. Now, of course, there are plenty of more fitness activities out there other than weightlifting and calisthenics, but the two activities I just displayed are the most effective in achieving a cut-specific physique. And what I mean by cut is basically the crevices you could see on a body, such as a six-pack. Now, believe it or not, you're not just going to magically wake up having a six-pack after 5 hours of resistance training. We all wish it worked like that, but if that were the case, we'd all have hot and fit bodies by now. I'm sure of it. But diet is a heavily crucial part of the entire process. Now, take a look at this healthy bowl of nutrients. Most of you will automatically think, ew, Jericho, don't tell me what to stick with eating greens all day. Well, it's a good thing that's not true, because otherwise I would have made this presentation. In fact, eating protein is actually very much effective in the bodybuilding process. But of course, adding greens to your meals can also help tremendously. It's all about balance and physique, and the physique you want to achieve. For example, in this image, it looks a lot better than the stuff I showed you before this. But it all comes down to how much you are consuming. So if we take, looking at nutrient facts should be a normal habit if you want to get into this. So taking a few seconds to check what you're putting in your food would not hurt at all, but would benefit you in the long run. But of course, you're not going to lose any extra fat if you're eating over excessively. And now, this brings us to the topic of a caloric deficit. Now, that's something you probably never heard about. But what a caloric deficit is, in simple terms, is to lose weight, you need to eat and drink fewer calories than you burn, and vice versa. Now, we all have different body types. And again, it all comes down to what you actually want to achieve. For men and women, it's going to be a little bit different, but it follows the same general concept. But personally, I am around the 20% body fat range. and is somewhat overweight for my height. But what I want to achieve is a 10 to 15% body fat range, and which basically this guy here has, Chris Harrier. And as for the first bodybuilder I showed, he used about 20% body fat. That is because he is bigger and he just looks more muscular, obviously. And I am currently 20% body fat, but obviously I'm nowhere near this guy's level of fitness and or in terms of physique. It all comes down to preference. And I still prefer having a leaner, fit body, and what I want to achieve is Chris Harrier's build. Again, we all start in different places, and some of you guys may be more physically fit than I am, and some of you are not. For the skinnier people who want to bulk up and become a beast, my only advice to you guys is to start with a caloric deficit, meaning eat more. You cannot gain any weight any other way. And for the bigger people, such as I, it is the same thing but the other way around. Basically, burn more than what you eat. Exercise is one thing, but diet is another. Again, it's important to keep track of what you eat, and you essentially want to make this a lifestyle. Because fitness is a journey. It's a very long journey. And it requires patience and dedication. And that's what I want. That's what each and every fitness guru I displayed today shows. Do not push yourself too hard, and of course, it is okay to make mistakes. But just get back up and enjoy what you like to do.